have to go through hell to achieve resurrection.
At the end of New Blood, it seemed like this Dexter death was quite permanent. Gunshot to the chest.
Yeah.
Talk to me about going through this resurrection and knowing that you're coming back and how that affected your headspace getting into this character. Were there any hesitancies you had about reprising the role this time around?
Yeah, I mean, I thought he was dead too. And I think Dexter did too. But some time passed, he wasn't shot in the head. The possibility always remained that that gunshot didn't kill him, even though it seemed definitive. And it became an increasingly interesting proposition. Like, if it didn't kill him, what would that look like? How would that change his world? How would it change his approach to being alive, being given a second chance like that? I definitely had misgivings. I mean, it felt like a crazy proposition. Like, are we gonna end it that definitively and then say, actually, no, he's still alive? And the key for me to making it feel worthwhile is like, he's not just still alive, he's reborn, or has a genuine second chance at life, one that sees him able to put down a lot of what he's been dragging around, all the collateral damage of his life, you know, and reclaim himself in a more kind of streamlined, vital way as a killer, but also experienced a sort of undeniable connection to his human side through a recommitment to his son. And all of that seemed like a worthwhile launching pad for the story to continue.
You're entering all this Dexter world with so much implied backstory. You're all killers who are seasoned in this game of serial killing. How much of those backstories have you all kind of colored in yourselves already? Do you know the lore that goes behind Lady Vengeance, that goes behind, I'm blanking on the other two killers, don't tell me, I got this, ready? Rapunzel and Gemini.
You nailed it.
Amazing.
Good job. You get the prize. We're not going to murder you.
Game time player.
For me, it was right in the script, and there's a big secret that Gemini is carrying, and he has this obsession with the concept of Gemini right out of the Zodiac, you know, and the way that I murder employs that. The way that I commit my crimes is about that. So that was the story about my backstory. It finds its way in being revealed as the season progresses. So luckily, Scott and the writing team did all the homework for me.
Yeah, I asked Scott questions about, you know, what their version of Al's past is, because, you know, if you've seen any of the show, you know, pretty jovial, you know, fun-loving guy that has the ability to turn dark fairly quickly. So I need to know how proficient I have been over the years, which leads to the question of what do I do for a living, which leads to the question of, you know, different things. So I colored it in pretty well to justify and to believe that this guy could be doing this.
And I worked with Scott on Jessica Jones, so he kind of knew all of the things that I wanted to do and enjoy doing, and everything was on the page. Like, Clyde and Scott are so great, and the writing was so fantastic. But there was a lot of opportunity for me to bring little things to it that were very Krysten. For example, back in the day, ages ago, when I would go on a lot of dates, I would always take my dates bowling.
And I appreciated it. I enjoyed our night very much.
And I always won. And so I got to take Dexter on a bowling date. And it was funny because I was like, oh, Scott knows me. And so there was a lot of opportunities for me to bring like the delicious, fun playfulness to this character while also doing like the dark, like totally deranged and glamorous, like all of the words that I love.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up Jessica, because long time coming. Season 2.
Yeah, Jessica's
oh my
back.
God,
It's very exciting. I am very thrilled to be back in Jessica's boots, and yeah, there's more story for her, and it's really exciting, especially doing these back to back. Playing something new and very different.
Both set in New York.
I'm like on the New York shows. Like all the crew is like, wait a minute, there's 2 shows shooting in New York. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm doing both.
How does the tone feel? Disney Plus versus Netflix.
Oh, it's gritty. Like it feels big too. The crew's amazing. I've had an amazing experience. I can't say anything, but I love being with Charlie. And yeah, it was like, it was as if no time had passed. Like my first day, I was like looking around like, we're back. But juxtaposing it with Mia and Jessica has been really creatively fulfilling for me as an artist. And just what a big banner year I'm having.
Yeah.
I'm an unabashed nerd, and
Yeah,
I
thank
cannot
you.
wait to see.
Yeah.
It's so exciting that she's
I think
back.
the fans are going to be very, very thrilled.
I'm shooting
We're
a
doing
commercial
some
next
cool
week.
stuff.
I'll wrap with
Yeah.
this, guys, because I did want to talk about one last Dexter question, and you can all just kind of answer this maybe yes or no. Are each of your killers aware of the Bay Harbor Butcher? We're playing with different states here, I know.
Yeah, you're
But,
good.
you know,
No.
these stories tend to permeate throughout the country.
Yeah.
Do you think each of your killers are aware of Dexter Morgan's true...
Gareth,
Yes.
Gemini, knows everything about everything about everything. So he already knows and sees through all of the, the weaknesses of the Bay Harbor Butcher. Yeah, for sure.
I think Gal's read about it and thinks it's just awful. Who would do
No,
something like that?
nothing.
Who would
not
ever
an
do
ethical
something
killer,
like
like
that?
someone who only
who
targets
would do
ponytails.
something like that? I don't understand it.
And
I don't
Lady
think I'm
Vengeance?
aware of. No.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
all will be revealed in the later episodes, guys. Thank you so much for your time.
it's a good question.
It is a good
though.
question.
You just don't know it's a good question.
Yeah.
So, Jack, to start with you, at the end of New Blood, we seem to think that there's going to be some sort of permanence with Dexter. We think he's fully dead. Harrison's headspace going into this series, this is obviously spoiler-free. Is he fully trying to move on with a new life, or do you think that the demons of his father are still lurking there somewhere?
Oh, I mean, he's trying to move on with every fiber of his being. I mean, absolutely, definitively. Like, I mean, but also, definitively, like how definitive the ending of New Blood was. It was pretty definitive, and here we are. So, I mean, I feel like, yeah, I mean, he's all the energy he has. I mean, he is running from it. He's trying to leave it behind. He's trying to bury it, and I mean, you can't bury that. Like, I think you can't bury that by itself. That's stacked on top of everything else that's happened to Harrison before this. You can't just like reset yourself like that. So no, I mean, it's, yeah, he's running 100%, but it's catching up.
Yeah, you can't get rid of it. It's natural with the Morgan family, specifically with you, James. You're back as the voice of reason with Dexter in the series. We missed you so much in New Blood. When you were catching up on New Blood, what was your, response to Jennifer Carpenter's version of the voice of reason? And then also, too, with it being so many years removed since the original series, how has your approach to being that voice of reason, Dexter, evolved over the past decade?
Well, I love Jennifer Carpenter. She played my daughter, and we had scenes together in the original. She's an amazing actress, and she was always the voice of Dexter. Don't do it. What are you doing? She didn't know how deep in he was, and so Dexter's in the frozen north. The character of Dexter is kind of frozen in place. He's trying to restrain himself. He's not doing the old behavior, and that's why she is there more, it seems to me, than Harry. And what has happened with Harry in the new one is that Dexter has reawakened. He's resurrected, and he needs that code. But the code has evolved, and Harry is talking to Dexter in a much more vulnerable way. He's not just like saying, you got to do this, don't do that. He's expressing consequences in how it's going to hurt him. We don't see that quite yet, but we know that if anything happened to Dexter, it would kill Harry, and we saw that in the original series here and there, where Harry got very upset with stuff that was happening. You didn't get to see that often.
David, to start with you, it's pretty clear in this series after the first 2 episodes that Batista is going down this rabbit hole of believing that Dexter is the Bay Harbor Butcher. For good reason too, as us, the audience, have the luxury of knowing everything as it's told through Dexter's point of view. Why is he so confident this time around that this is an answer he needs solved in this series?
Well, I think if you saw the end of New Blood, when he got the call and shown that picture by Chief Bishop that he was alive, all of that, everything that he has been holding back because it's been over a decade, him getting in the fold of Maria La Guelta and other Bay Harbor butcher murders. I don't know if he's 100% sure, but he's on his way to trying to find evidence so that he can seek the justice that Batista always tries to get in anything that he does.
And then Ntare, coming to you, the character of Blessing is such a welcome ray of pure soul in this series. I feel like every character kind of has a little bit of gray area to them, but everything we know about Blessing is he's just got such a ray of sunshine. Where does that optimism come from?
I think it comes from his family. I mean, his daughter's name's Joy, his wife and mother named Prudence and Constance. I mean, so Blessing, Prudence, Constance, Joy, that's who Blessing is. And he knows that Dexter needs a friend, and so that's what he brings to him.
Mm-hmm. And I will say, rideshare drivers tend to be the most optimistic people I know. In New York, there's a lot of 50-minute Ubers, and I can't help but make conversation with them. Yeah. And they tend to just have the best views on life. So I thought that was very cool to see that depicted in this show. Flashing forward a bit to episode 4, now Batista wants to go to the police because he's piecing things together and he wants to actually work with law enforcement. At that point, he says to Harrison that he's looking for closure. But when he goes to the police, and you said this earlier in your previous answer, he's looking for justice. What is that line between closure and justice? Can they exist as one together, or is he seeking one or the other?
No, I don't think, seeking justice, I would feel comes before seeking closure. Seeking justice, it's gonna inform the closure that he needs to continue. Remember, he spent many decades thinking that Dexter had been dead. And he also, towards the end of the first incarnation of Dexter, a couple of people did tell him, we think Dexter might be, and he was like, no, absolutely not. Sometimes you don't want to hear the truth. Sometimes, the relationship makes it, you try to keep things gray so that you don't have to make that commitment. And he, finding out now the truth is going to be, he's trying to figure out what to do in a place that he doesn't have the authority to do it in a different place. And that's why he goes, I think, to the NYPD. And I think, it's, to me, as in order to get closure, we need justice first in Angel Batista and how he thinks about it.
Mm-hmm. And we see in the first episode, Claudette, who's a detective for the NYPD, she is a little standoffish to outside law enforcement. She says, flee the crime scene, you're not needed here. As an outsider coming in, what can you tease about how Claudette and Batista are maybe going to butt heads on this case?
Well, I think personalities clash in every situation, or they attract each other. They understand each other. I think with Claudette, she's a unique, eccentric character. And I think and Batista also sees that she's genuine and she's truthful and she seeks the truth. And that's, when you identify that, you always kind of gravitate towards that. And I feel that that's the relationship. Less than butting heads, more of just trying to convince each other what they think the situation is.
Mm-hmm. I'll wrap with this, Ntare, coming back to you. The dark passenger is on the loose in this show, and when he describes the dark passenger to Dexter, he's very happy-go-lucky about it. Sometimes people continue jobs in dangerous circumstances because it's out of necessity. Bills are not gonna stop just because there's danger on the road. But for Blessing, it seems like he's just continuing the job because he likes helping people. What can you tell me about his headspace, knowing that there's a killer on the loose and it directly affects his occupation, but he's still going to proceed with that smile?
I think he does proceed with caution, because when he first meets Dexter, he does
asks for the name.
He asks to verify, before he even lets him in the car. So I think he does have his spider senses up, and we get to see if those spider senses reveal anything later in the season.
Amazing. Lots to look forward to in the show. I'm absolutely glued to it. Captured the magic of the original. And I think you both, poured your heart and souls into it. So I appreciate you all.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
If I am who you really think I am, this can't possibly end well for you.